Good morning, students. Welcome to Pandasar's virtual class on microeconomics, class 11th. And yesterday we discussed about the definition of microeconomics given by many eminent economists like Adam Smith, Alfred Marshall, and many more. But today we are going to discuss about the concept of economic problem. So, what is the meaning of economic problem? And secondly, how a single producer or consumer, or at macro level, if we consider, then how a nation deals with economic problem. Because the individual consumer producer as well as the nation, they both come across economic problems. So, first of all, we need to understand what is the meaning of economic problem and why at all economic problem arises in an economy. Students, all of you know that human wants are unlimited, and to satisfy those unlimited wants, we have at our disposal limited resources or means. I repeat, our wants or a nation wants are unlimited, and to satiate those unlimited wants, a single economic unit like consumer or producer, or the whole economy, or simply saying a nation face the same problem, that because their want is unlimited, and to satisfy those wants they have limited resources. So now question arises that why economic problem arises. So to consider that why economic problem arises, we will discuss 4 points, and these are the causes or reasons that why in case of a single unit or in case of a nation economic problem arises. The first reason for economic problem is unlimited wants. Why we have wants? Because we need goods and services to derive satisfaction, and those goods and services are economic goods. So when we consume those goods, we derive satisfaction. So our desire for those economic goods that which is going to give us satisfaction is our want. And there is no end to our wants. It is always endless. But second point, unfortunately, we don't have enough or unlimited means to satisfy unlimited want. If we had enough means to satisfy all of our wants, then there might have been hardly any economic problem in the economy or in case of a single individual. So, the root of all economic problem is that wants are unlimited, and to satisfy those wants, the means or resources at our disposal is limited. So, now what is the solution? In one side, we have unlimited wants, and on the other hand, we have limited means or resources. So, of course, we have to resort to choice, that out of our unlimited wants, we have to select only those wants, that much wants that we can afford to pay for. So, we have to shortlist our list of wants considering our purchasing power or the amount of means or resources we have at our disposal. And here comes the problem of choice. The problem of choice arises in case of a single economic unit like a single producer or a single consumer, or in case of the economy as a whole. The problem of choice arises simply because first 2 points, our wants are unlimited, and to satisfy those wants, our resources are always limited. And here we are getting yet another characteristic of means or resources, that the resources that we have has alternative uses. I repeat the statement. The resources or means that we have at our disposal has alternative uses. To make it simpler, just consider one example. I have got a 10 rupee notes. I have got a 10 rupee note or a 10 rupee currency note. So that is resources or means at my disposal. I have resources worth 10 rupees and I am able to purchase goods and services worth 10 rupees. So I can spend that 10 rupee for purchasing a chocolate, purchasing a packet of biscuit, purchasing some other snacks. So purchasing a chocolate, purchasing a packet of biscuit, purchasing other snacks, these are alternative uses that our means or resource or a 10 rupee currency has. In this way, we can conclude that the resources that we have, we can put those resources in different uses. But always remember that at the same time, we cannot put that limited resources in all the uses at the same time. If, for example, if we are opting for use 1, then we have to forget or ignore use 2 and use 3. Thus, human wants are unlimited, satisfy those wants, resources are limited, and because there are unlimited want and limited resources, the problem of choice is arising, and the resources has the resources has alternative uses. So these 4 points, after considering these 4 points, now the main problem is that with which use we are going to put our resources. For example, we have want 1, want 2, want 3, want 4, want 5. 5 different wants we have, but with our limited resources, we can satiate only one want. So we have to give priority to only those wants that is more important, or the want that is needed to be satisfied first. Thus, we have to shortlist our want and we have to arrange the wants according to their priority. For example, suppose we have 5 rupees left with us and we have 2 different wants, that we need to go for Sauchalaya, Sulabh Sauchalaya, and on the other hand we need to drink a cup of tea. So here, if you consider in reality that going to the Sauchalaya is more important than sipping a cup of tea. That's why we have to use or utilize our limited resources of rupees 5 to go to the Sauchalaya or Sulabh Sauchalaya. Thus, wants are enlisted according to their priority. Now we are going to discuss the central problem, and when we consider central problem, the first problem is allocation of resources. We all know that our resources are limited. That's why where we are going to allocate those limited resources is a matter of choice that we have to make. That the same is the case of an economy also. For example, the economy has limited resources, and with that limited resources, the economy can produce luxury goods as well as necessary goods. Now it is the job of the planners of an economy to think about how much luxury goods and how much necessary goods has to be produced using the limited resources. So, if we consider in detail about the central problem of an economy, what we get are first what to produce. This is again a matter of choice because we have limited resources and we have unlimited things to produce. An economy or a single individual has always to consider that with his limited resources what to be produced and what not to be produced. So the first central problem of an economy as well as of an individual person is that where to allocate his limited resources, and the first problem is a matter of choice. Why a matter of choice? Because there is scarcity. Scarcity of what? Scarcity of resources. So here I interrupt and I would tell something about the word scarcity. If something we have less, then in general English or in general language we say that something is scarce. But in economics, the word scarcity has a little different meaning because it is connected with the word demand. So, in economics, we say something to be scarce or available in a limited quantity, but not only quantity, it is always associated with the concept of demand. That how much we demand, if the supply is less than the quantity demanded, then only in economics we term something as scarce. For example, here no one needs sada hua anda, and there is no sada hua anda here. So in economics we cannot say that here there is scarcity of sada hua anda, because it is not needed here. So, scarcity in economics, I repeat, is always in relation to demand. How much demanded? If the quantity supplied is less than the quantity demanded, then we say something to be scarce. As the amount of resources we need is much more than the amount of resources we had. That's why demand is more, supply is less. So we can say that the supply of resources or the means is scarce. That is the exact meaning of scarcity in economics. So coming to the second point, the first point is what to produce, both for an individual as well as an economy, and it's a matter of choice to deal with a problem like scarcity of things or resources. And the second point is how to produce. How to produce, the central problem of an economy, how to produce is associated with the technique of production. Technique of production. So what do we mean by technique of production? That when we talk about technique of production, broadly we have two different technique of production. One is labor intensive technology of production and the other is capital intensive technology of production. So what is the meaning of both the terms? Labor intensive technology of production, when we are giving priority to manpower or labor force to do some work, such technology, such technique of production is called labor intensive technology of production. On the other hand, if we are depending more upon machines or capital goods and equipments to produce something more, then the technology or the technique of production is called capital intensive technology of production. So obviously here it depends upon the nature of the country, the nature of the population. So just consider a country with a huge population like India, China, they must prefer the labor intensive technology. On the other hand, countries like Australia, Canada, where the supply of human being or labor force is less, then of course they would opt for capital intensive technology. So it depends upon the nature of the country, the nature of the population, that what type of technology we should adopt. So suppose we have to make a ditch that and we can use some JCB machine to dig that ditch, and on the other hand we can use some lever to dig that ditch. So if we are using more lever, then it is labor intensive technology. If we are using a JCB machine on the other hand, it is capital intensive technology. So it is the planners, so they have to decide which technology is better for their country. And the third problem, that central problem or arises everywhere, is for whom to produce. See, the economy can produce luxuries as well as necessary goods, and we know that the production of luxury gives more monetary return or more profit than the production of necessary goods. So again, if we are producing necessary goods, then it is for mass population, and on the other hand, if we are producing luxury goods, it is for a limited number of people of an economy. So again, it is associated with wealth, creation of wealth, or promoting welfare. If we are producing necessary goods, then we are not making more money, but of course we are doing or we are promoting welfare in the economy. On the other hand, if we are producing more luxurious goods, then our our economic growth or development will be rapid, because it will give us more monetary return, but we have to compromise with promotion of welfare. So thus these three are the central economic problems. So it is enough for today. Tomorrow we will further continue the discussion of central problem of an economy. Once again I remind, go through the books, go through the notes, and if you are getting any problem, call me or message me. Thank you and have a nice day.